I'm Kimberly from the Fat Quarter Shop, and I am here to give you my 2019 FQS Stitch MAYnia update. I got so much done, guys. I stitched 7,388 minutes, which is 123 hours. So talk about production. That is called production. So we're gonna go through, I'm gonna kind of read from my cross stitch journal, my notes, because, and here's all my stuff. So, project 1, first day, we did April. I have so much of this done. What do I have left? Okay, I can see. Now I just have a little bit of the border left. So I probably will have this done in a couple of weeks. So that is April. May. And at the end of the video, I'm gonna go over things I've learned and things that, maybe a little teaching opportunity. So I got a lot of May done. June. And on June, I think I'm just gonna leave the French knots out. I don't even think I'm gonna do beads. I think I'm just gonna leave it just as it is. These are all Country Cottage Needleworks. Here's July. I kind of did the house. So when I pick this back up, I'll probably start with one of the ones that doesn't have as much to, that has a lot to do, so I can get them all kind of going. Here's August. September, oh my gosh, this is like so to die for cute, so cute. October, that is just precious. And on these, I already have January, February, March done. So this is November. So you notice that what I did on my MAYnia was I started in a different spot on each of them. And the reason I did that was I really wanted to do something different each day. December is looking beautiful. So you're just gonna see that I did something different each day. Now I have 2 finishes from MAYnia. One of them is Spring Has Sprung. And all of the ones I just showed, I used Wichell Lamb's wool, sorry. I couldn't remember. Wichell Lamb's wool, and all of the ones I just showed, I also used the called for DMC. So this one I'm gonna frame, I decided. And then the next one is a finish called Home. Now I don't have this with me because Priscilla Blaine with the Real Housewives of Cross Stitch is finishing it for me. So we'll have this on her channel and my channel soon. And on that one, I used Classic Colorworks Hickory Sticks. So, and I changed the design a little bit. The next one is Happy Easter by Tiny Modernist, and I just have a tiny bit left on the border. And on this one, I used the called for DMC. On the next ones, I changed things up. This is Madame Chantilly. I used the same DMC colors, and I used Graceful Gray, Wichell 14 count. All of these are 14 count because that's what I prefer to stitch on. So this one is spring, summer, autumn. This is the one I struggled with a little bit to get the colors right. And winter. And then I stepped out of the box and did some canvas perforated paper, and this is by Sue Hillis, and it is called Alphabet Elm Blanc, and I'm using an Aura floss. And then I'm doing Santa Sampler by Country Cottage Needleworks, and this one's a little bit bigger than the rest, so I didn't get as much done, but I'm working on the border at the top. And then I moved on to Tiny Modernist Christmas Signs, and there's 4 of them. There's one pattern. So here's the pattern. I used 14 count Venetian Stone by Wichell and the called for DMC colors. So this is I'll Be Home for Christmas. I just have the bottom to do, so I don't really have that much to go. So you can see I got a ton of stuff done. I was totally dedicated. This is 'Tis the Season to Be Jolly, and one of my followers said I should put an A there, and that would be cute because my name is Jolly. This one says, "May your days be merry and bright." And on this one, all I have is the border. And then this last one has Santa Claus on it. And I think it says Merry Christmas. And I'm kind of working on Mr. and Mrs. Claus. So I have a lot of Christmas stuff going on in here, but I love to decorate for Christmas and for fall. So we're gonna keep going. So let's see where we're at. We are on the 23rd day now. So you can see, like, I got so much done. This is the 23rd day. This is pumpkins for sale. And on this one, Country Cottage Needleworks, I'm working on lamb's wool 14 count, but I decided to convert this to Aura Floss so it would match my Be Thankful that I've already done. And then I've got a hands-on design, Pumpkin Spice Farm. And all I'm missing at the top is the N. And this one is Wichell Cafe Mocha Country. And I love that color. And then I moved on to a laundry room scenario. And I'm using Fabric Flare Whitewash Board 14 count. The first one is called Irony. And I am doing this with Aura Floss and the Never Ending Cycle. And Loads of Fun. And so this one I'm kind of converting as I go, which has been a lot of fun. And I was able to get all 3 of these on one of the pieces that I bought from the store of the whitewashed. So that was kind of cool. Then we go back to Christmas. So on this one, let's see, this is Merry Christmas Ornaments. I'm using the called for DMCs, and this is by Country Cottage Needleworks. And another Country Cottage Needleworks, Merry Christmas, and oh my gosh, that is cute just like it is. I could just do Merry, super cute. And then we did a Madame Chantilly Love, and it's really just 4 letters. So I'm basically a quarter of the way done on that because there's just 4. So that's pretty cool. And then Happy 4th of July was my last one by Tiny Modernist. So that is 31 projects, tons of productivity, but also I started our Quaker Flag by the Stitcherhood, sorry. And this is my 32nd project. So here you go. This is where I'm at on that. It's looking totally, totally, totally awesome. So I've got 32 projects. I've got a ton of stuff done. And now I'm going to give you some tips that I've learned throughout the Maynia, because I always believe in practice makes perfect, or, you know, the more you do something, the more you can learn. If you've ever read the book Freakonomics, it talks about, you know, how doing something over and over and over, you just become more productive. And there's a lot of science behind that. So I'm going to kind of talk about what worked for me. So if you see over here on the left side, when I started, everything had a Q-snap. And that's how I learned how to stitch. And that's great, but then I ran out of Q-snaps. And then I would be at home and not have a Q-snap because the Q-snap was at work. So I kind of started just freestyling, I guess, and it's called Stitching in Hand. And I learned it from Priscilla and Chelsea, so I'm not going to take credit. They taught me how to do it. But I kind of got more comfortable with it. And the more comfortable I got, I thought, well, I can do this. I don't need a Q-snap. So the one thing that I learned to do is, as you're stitching, like if you were working on the Y, you can roll this up and use a wonder clip. And you could even roll the other side if you wanted to. The wonder clips aren't going to hurt your fabric at all. And when you're stitching in hand, you've got less to work with. So that's really awesome tip that I learned along the way. And then another thing that I learned is if I'm going to stitch in hand, I'm using the John James size 26 gold plated. And the reason I'm using these is they're shorter and they really work to just, like with my bowen needles that I used on my Q-snaps, I'm not able to really get that, I guess, I don't want to say bend, but really like crunch the material, like to get it to go. I will say these do break as you go. That's normal. They're not that expensive, but it saves me time. So I think it's like a cost break-even analysis type thing, like saves time, but they break. So it's kind of like a give and a take, but I am loving these. And I am so excited that you guys have joined me for Stitch Mania. We have a lot of stuff coming. I've loved stitching with you. I've loved being able to do all of this, and I hope that I've inspired you just a little bit. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you later this week.